This week on GeekDown, the line has been drawn, sides have been picked, and we answer one of the most debated fanboy questions: Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? We look at each franchise's highs and lows, and this week's guest, Ken O'Brien, a diehard MK fan, pleads his case, and Matt Sohinki, after dancing around the line, picks his side. All of this and more on GeekDown.
We're gonna give you the lowdown. Our first lowdown is on Street Fighter. Take a look.
Street Fighter. The original 1987 arcade classic fell under the radar. Its wonky controls and super difficult computer opponents made this fighter forgettable at best. Its saving grace, Street Fighter II. Released in 1991, Street Fighter II improved on its predecessor by leaps and bounds by adding more unique playable characters and comprehensible controls. Arcade goers flocked to their local gaming halls to flaunt their skills in this Capcom scrapper. The game grew into a monetized monster, with faithful fans fueling the fire by buying collectibles, fashion items, and even movie tickets. Several successful Street Fighter games came after Part 2, and big changes along with them. From the 3D of the EX series to the combo system of 3, well into the cel-shaded zone of 4, the Street Fighter series seems to be going strong and is looking to stay around for a long time.
We're gonna get into some of the history of Street Fighter, not just Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter came out in 1987, the original arcade version,
Yeah, it did.
and then it came back in 1991
When they realized it
with
sucked.
Street Fighter 2.
I'm not sure if that's how it goes.
With time, it snowballed into something bigger and bigger and bigger to where what it is now is it's kind of crazy, and people all over the world are still to this day loving Street Fighter.
Yeah, just like they're still loving Mortal Kombat.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where there's a lot of even like knockoffs of Street Fighter like that came out in the 90s, like Mortal Kombat, and so Street Fighter just really stuck around.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's sad. Everything's kind of a knockoff of Mortal Kombat.
All right, back to the history of Street Fighter as Father Flitz knows it.
Yeah.
So
tell us another story.
Right now they have Street Fighter 4. That's the most recent rendition of the game.
Wait. It came out in 1989 and they're at 4?
87.
87. And they're at 4?
Yes.
Wow, that's kind of slow.
That's funny because I swore there was like 50 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a list here. we'll go to it later.
We'll get to the list.
It's quite long.
But before we get to that list, let's give you the rundown of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, the bloodiest thing ever to come out of 1992. This interactive gore fest was almost a game based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. From that failure came what could be considered a carnage-filled blessing in disguise. Mortal Kombat killed in the arcades, not only being known for its digitized acrobatic martial arts actors, but also the brutal fatalities. Gamers couldn't get enough of this Midway Games classic. The game came under scrutiny from several fear-mongering political types, and you can't really ask for better publicity than that. Following the original Mortal Kombat game came several sequels, the last of the digitized actor family being 2, and the combo-filled Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Only 3 years after its arcade success, MK hit the movie screen with a jaw-breaking boom. Years later came a cartoon, a movie sequel, and a short-lived TV series. With the 2009 demise of the game's developer Midway, many thought the MK series to be dead. 2011, Mortal Kombat is making what looks to be a strong comeback, and surely fighting game fans will welcome it back to its throne of blood with open arms.
Mortal Kombat came out in 1992. It came out right on the heels of Street Fighter 2, and it was a success. People were loving it. For one, I grew up in arcades. I admit I would go to the arcade and I would start circling the joystick to do Kano's ball that Blanca does. and I mean, it was awesome. You're watching these characters who are actors, and they're flipping around. I mean, during that same time, there was a show that came out on the heels of it as well, WMAC Masters, which used some of the same actors that were in the Mortal Kombat game. It just snowballed into great things. It attracted people who were really into just gore and it with the whole fighting engine and how intuitive it was. It was awesome, and it grew into something that's gigantic.
Yeah.
Everyone must, agree. I mean, the film was great. The first film was awesome. I remember doing spin kicks and backflips in front of the movie theater when the Mortal Kombat movie came out.
Actually, the best thing about that movie, and it's still the best thing about that movie, is the opening song.
Oh no, God!
Everyone has that song on a CD somewhere in their car, and when they're alone driving down the freeway 80 miles per hour, that goes in.
That goes in.
I mean, it's stuck in my head now because I constantly did it. We performed to that song on my Taekwondo demo team.
No,
so I'm tired of it.
Every martial arts demo is that Mortal Kombat song, no matter where you go. Still to this day, karate, whatever, and it's like
what is it? 1993? It's like,
no, yeah.
The movie actually came out in 95. 95.
95.
Yeah,
I think that's right. But my question is, has Mortal Kombat ever really left the 90s? Look at the game now. It's all the same.
Deadly Alliance.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's all the same? There's no way that is a true statement.
Mortal Kombat was the first to go 3D. Street Fighter didn't do it just till a couple years ago.
It doesn't need to go to 3D.
Tekken was technically the first one to go.
Actually,
Virtual Fighter, but like when we're comparing 2D fighters going to 3D, you know, Street Fighter.
The first one to make the jump.
Yeah, the first to make the jump.
Mortal Kombat 4.
Back on pace here. Okay, let's talk about
you know I'm right.
Let's talk about where it started from. Let's talk about the fighting engine. How the fighting engines they came from being quite simple, each of them being quite simple, to being a bit more complicated with their engines and executions and introduction to combos and stuff like that. What do you feel? What do you feel caters to you as a gamer?
Responsive controls. I mean, when I play Mortal Kombat, I feel like I'm pressing a button and then my character then starts to walk forward, and all I can do is this and this.
What Mortal Kombat game are you comparing there?
Yeah,
I mean all of them.
All of them.
The last Mortal Kombat he played was like probably 1 or something like that.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and I also played Mortal Kombat vs. DCU. I'm sad to say.
Okay, yeah.
My problem with Street Fighter on the console, though, is that it feels like it was made for an arcade. So trying to play it on the console without the fight sticks is really frustrating, trying to do combos.
Well, it's the same thing with Street Fighter. Like, they had to make unique controllers for Street Fighter 4.
For Street Fighter.
Oh, for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Well, I mean, Mortal Kombat was made for the arcades as well, and
yeah, but I don't, to me, it doesn't have the same response issues.
Because there is no responsive controls.
Go ahead.
I mean, serious. I'm like, no responsive controls. I mean, that's like kind of ludicrous right there. There's been tournaments. I don't see it. I push punch. The guy goes like that. Yeah, I mean, there's still frames. I mean, I don't get what you're saying.
See, my issue with the controls, and I mean, as much as you Mortal Kombat lovers love Mortal Kombat, if I can beat a person who can stand there and just hit high punch constantly, and then hit low punch, hit high punch and then hit low punch, and then when they jump at me, hold down and hit high punch for every single character, and it creates an uppercut.
Hadouken! Hadouken!
Yeah, that's different.
Even Dragon Punch. That's Street Fighter. That's Street Fighter.
Even with that, you have to hold. You have to do quarter circle forward and then hit punch. Not everybody can.
I can do that with Liu Kang.
Not everyone can do that. They should not be playing a fighting game then.
That's. I mean, what a lot of people like about Mortal Kombat is with the controls, they were easier. It's an easier game.
I disagree.
You can disagree. Let's
which game do you think has
Kombat,
easier?
The controls in Mortal Kombat are easier. Liu Kang's moves: forward, high punch, forward, kick. What? Now once you get in, or Scorpion, back, get over here, constantly uppercut. Get over here, constantly uppercut. And then you get into the quarter circle forward, quarter circle back with the ninjas. With Sub-Zero with his freeze, and with Scorpion and his teleport.
Ermac. Ermac was back down, back, high punch.
Yeah.
Wait, which
teleport slap?
It was
Ermac, the red ninja.
It was the red ninja.
Ninja number 12?
Ninja number 12.
Or is that robot number 5?
Due to the limitations at the time, they figured out a good way to get more characters in the game. And that, for them, was really smart. How can we get 5 more characters? Well, we're going to change their colors.
It's the same thing that Super Mario did with Luigi back on the NES.
You got to be smart.
Okay, if we want to talk about ninjas and we want to look at characters, you might say that Street Fighter has more like diverse characters because they look a little bit different.
No, that's not diverse. That's true.
Yeah, okay, diverse.
But here's the thing, though. None of them have nearly as deep of a story as any of the Mortal Kombat characters. I don't care if the ninja's yellow,
yes, you're
blue,
right. No,
red,
you're right.
purple.
Because people go to video game arcades to play the games for the story.
None.
Yeah, I mean, Crazy Taxi had a great story.
It helps.
It really did.
Yeah,
what was it again?
You have to drive fast.
That's what Taxi Driver.
Yeah, it's just like Mortal Kombat. You need to fight because the world is destroyed. You need to fight because your other world is destroyed.
So wait,
Fight for this world because that world was destroyed.
so you need to fight in Street Fighter, get your fight money.
You get your
right?
fight money.
Is that the story there?
Yeah.
No.
There's more to it. There's Ken, who's like learned with Ryu, and they branched off different ways.
Again, the same exact character.
No,
One
not the
has
same exact
fire.
character.
You could also be a lucha libre who really likes to cook, and he wants to spread his recipes.
Hey, I'm pretty sure every Street Fighter fan.
So back on track. Back on track.
there.